Shoot! The stock market is crashing. What can we do? We're not on autopilot to the moon anymore. We're in freefall into a bottomless pit. But have no fear, Barry Charles is here to save you from financial ruin. And let's look at the 3 stocks to buy February 2022 edition. First off, we got the steal deal of 2022. Not financial advice. Palantir has jumped off a cliff and you're hanging on by a thread as you try to climb up the abseiling of the rock climbing. Palantir is down 68% year to date. Mind blowing. Everyone is selling except you and I. Do your research before you buy any stock. Palantir has dropped to as low as $12 and there could be more room to drop. The time to seize the moment is now. As you try to conquer the mountain or the Great Wall of China to financial independence. Palantir's revenue has jumped 250% in 3 years, from around 600 million to over 1.5 billion projected for the next year. Projected by Palantir for the next year. Yahoo! And also net loss for the company is estimated to improve by 50% from last year. Wowza! Can they be profitable in 2023? You must be joking, Barry. The time will tell. But sadly the cash flow is quite disappointing into the negative. But they are aggressively buying into their own business. And on the current, free cash flow is getting better. Why is Palantir a good investment, you might say? If you believe in artificial intelligence through data analysis, then the future for Palantir is clear, and it's streets ahead of the rivals through its systems, Foundry and Gotham, with a lot of government backing, which is always good for future proofing. Some people might not like that, but if you look at Apple and Microsoft, they all have government approval. Without it, they wouldn't get the tax incentives that they get. Yes, you might be saying as well that Palantir in the past have gone cutthroat to get the US Army on board, but that happens sadly in most businesses. But most of that is done behind closed doors, but clearly being the Army, they're open to the world in some cases and have to report everything to the government. Palantir continues to get bad press as insiders keep selling out, which is a real concern. But that's great for us as the long-term investor, as everyone gets scared. The dip is real and it's happening now, so take advantage out there, my friends, by subscribing to the channel so Palantir can 10x or more up to 200. Wouldn't that be beautiful? That's more like 12x, but hey, that's where we're going, baby. Not financial advice. If you would like to learn more about Palantir and especially the history of it, and then I do a bit of a stock analysis, go check out the video right there, right now. If you want to learn about Palantir, check it out. Palantir. What's the future hold? Well, they need to expand. If they can create more programs that are less dependent on complex computer analysis by human brain to solve the issues. If they could find a supercomputer that can calculate the data really efficiently without the human need, that should be the focus of this company. So they can skyrocket right up to 500. That might be a pipe dream, but you never know. They can provide something of wealth to a lot of people. And that way, if that works, they can cut down their employee base and they can make more profit. But time will tell with Palantir. But I'm pretty sure to say right here, right now, that there is no doubt it will 2x from here. It will probably do way more than that. Not financial advice, but if you look at the facts, you should be able to get a bargain here. The second stock to buy is the EV stock that everybody has forgotten about, except you and I, and all the Tesla bulls out there. No, it's not Tesla. No, it's not Rivian. No, it's not Lucid Motors. No, it's not any other stock. We're talking about the Chinese company, the number one, the only, NIO. To give you a full disclosure right here, I own both Palantir and NIO. So I ain't just talking about the stock and saying that I don't believe in them. I truly am invested into these stocks. Doesn't mean it's right for you, but I believe these stocks could go right to the moon. So let's continue with the video. NIO is very similar to Palantir in terms of the stock price year to date, with a 63% loss in the stock price. Oh my goodness. NIO is not going anywhere. China absolutely loves this stock. There's obviously a scare in the US of delisting. But how many times have we heard this and it never happens? Man, come on. It's time to get moving and shaking, people. Obviously, the major issue right now for NEO is the major debt. They are a super growing company, but this is the time that NEO can be brought at a beautiful price. And if they get past all this and go to profitability, sky's the limit on the stock price. NEO's revenue is so impressive, from 700 million to over 5 billion in the matter of 3 years. Not many stocks have done that in the same time period. Now, if you want breaking news right here, right now, this is the one you need to look at, because NEO is coming, baby. NEO's free cash flow has absolutely decreased. It's still in the negative, but I'm telling you now, it's going to be positive very, very soon. From a negative 1.53 billion in 2018, and just 2 years later in 2020, we're down to negative 151 million. NEO's cash flow should be positive very, very soon. Winner, winner. Chicken dinner. NEO's long-term debt has also been reduced by 25% in the last few quarters, which is obviously, as I said before, the major risk with the stock is the major net loss. But if future predictions are correct, within a few years, NEO will make a profit. They've had some short-term pain and the lack of deliveries, but NEO's price at just above $20 is a no-brainer. Not financial advice. For all the people out there that don't know NEO is an electric vehicle company providing some real nice looking cars, and I see them competing with Rivian to being the next big EV company to Tesla. Outside of Apple, of course. They could put a spanner in the works with their deal with Toyota, with the electric cars expected to launch in 2024. I still believe, watch out for Apple here. Can they make a car that's like shaped like the Apple logo? I'm telling you now, if somehow they can do it, there'll be some people out there that will buy it, and that's where I could see Apple absolutely making an explosion into the EV market, whether that actually ever eventuates, but that's what I'd be doing if I was Apple. So watch this space. You heard it here first, kids. Personally, NEO to me is the best bargain EV company out there right now. At these current low prices, below 25, an absolute hit it out of the parks. Gotta buy. Not financial advice. I also like the CEO, William Lee. He seems to believe the future is bright here at NEO. In my long-term predictions, NEO is easily a $100 stock, if not 200. But don't you worry, it can also go to zero. And the main reason it would go to zero if they just cannot meet the demand and also can't get out of debt. So there is a risk of buying NEO. I'm not saying it's all roses to the bank, but NEO is a good, solid investment, and it could potentially even blow up to $200 if you're thinking they're going to be number one in China long term. In my opinion, the worst case scenario for NEO, it'll go back up to around $40, $50 moving forward, so that will be a double up for you. And for some of you, that might be the right time to sell and put it into another investment. That's something to look at. I always like the 100% gain. If you get the 100% gain and you don't think there's much more improvement on the upside, good time to sell and reinvest into some other company that you think is going to do the same. If you want to get more in-depth look at NEO and also Tesla, I have a video that I made earlier, so go check that out, NEO and Tesla. The final stock to buy in the February 22 edition is Microsoft. Activision Blizzard, what an acquisition. This came such at the wrong time. It will be a game changer, but when the price just dropped, you've got to be kidding me. When normally you get a merger, you're skyrocketing. What I did for about a week, and next minute, boom, you've been hit straight back down to earth, because I believe some people were about to buy out the profits of Microsoft. It might happen, it might grow up quickly. Activision's going to happen next year. Obviously, with the Xbox console being so big and having the games like Warcraft, Call of Duty, and Candy Crush on their resume, with the metaverse coming, Microsoft is now secure in the metaverse. Microsoft's core business is still in the PC computer software, as well of course as the cloud, but the entertainment business is in the growing stages. So let's have a look at Microsoft's financials. You can't really compare to the other ones because this company is well established at profitability. But one good thing, the growth is still continuing with Microsoft. How can that be? People would have said when Bill Gates left, Microsoft was gone. Well, look at it now, skyrocketing higher and higher, and arguably the new CEO in 2014 took the company by storm, and the proof is in the pudding with a double up in the stock price. If we look at revenue from 2017 of $95 billion, it has gone up to $190 billion in revenue, taking the company over the $2 trillion mark. So for a company being around for so long, they're competing with Apple and soon to be maybe Tesla, and you still have other stocks that could fly up like Google and Amazon, and also Facebook could be an interesting one if they could really get the metaverse going. Could skyrocket up in price. So Microsoft is trying to claw back Apple for market cap supremacy. Microsoft's shares outstanding have slowly decreased each year, which gives you more ownership in the company. Net income currently is $71 billion. Woohoo! 3x in 5 years. Microsoft's free cash flow is very healthy at $56 billion. So their dividend is very, very safe. And hopefully over time we'll get a better dividend. Microsoft's growth in the cloud industry and entertainment are a major investment into their long-term future, so they can continue to grow as well as their computer company as a whole. An interesting side note, I didn't know that Lenovo, HP and Dell sell more computers than Apple and Microsoft. Crazy! Microsoft, in my opinion, will easily get to $500 one day, and that's probably been very conservative, and you have obviously a lot less risk than Palantir and Neo, which those two stocks are still also finding their feet. So what are my final views on these three stocks? Well, out of the three, probably Neo is the most risky play, but also the biggest reward potential. Palantir is not far behind, but they have more US government backing that seems to me will make sure they stay around for a very long time. But they still have to improve their business model if they want to get to profitability. And Microsoft, without a doubt, is the safest option. With the recent acquisition of Activision Blizzard, will help them obviously be a major player in the metaverse. So remember everybody, this is not financial advice. All my videos are for education and entertainment purposes only. Don't forget to high five the like button so we can all feed our growth stocks with as much funds as we can get ourselves into, to see our portfolio rise from the ashes to the top of the mountain. And subscribe to the channel so you see the most informative with a bit of comedy videos in the financial space. So it's time for me to get out of here. I've just purchased my Neo E7 while I use my Microsoft Windows software, and for some reason they made me go through Gotham City to find Batman and Robin, but I'd much rather chat to Catwoman as we roll along and drive along on our E7 through the streets of Gotham. Well, as I'm off to take my joyride, thanks for coming along, learning about three stocks you could potentially buy into, but do your own due diligence, not financial advice. It's time for me to invest and buy the dip. Which one should I buy? Guacamole, roasted garlic, seafood, onion, beetroot, so many to choose from, and they're all so delicious. Well, I'll see you all at the next video. Have an awesome day out there.